There's no true recipe to writing a successful novel. The end. Thanks, everybody. Okay, that's not true.
It's true. I mean, here's the thing. Like, writing a novel is not like assembling a 1,000-piece puzzle. Similarly frustrating at times, but there is no sort of one correct way to go about it. So with all of this stuff, your process may vary, and that's totally okay. What we can basically speak to is we can tell you, we can kind of give you the guidelines. We can tell you where the banks of the river usually are. It doesn't mean there's not a creek that you're not going to go down, which is fine if that's how it works for you. But we just want to sort of give you a bit of a framework of what has worked for other people in hopes that it will work for you as well.
And one of the main things that we use on our side of the desk, which is something that makes sense on your side, is the word subjectivity. A lot of subjectivity goes into what not only we add to our list, but what ends up moving copies out there. And there's all these stories always about, the help was turned down a gabillion times, or, there's always a story where somebody went outside the box, got a lot of rejections, and then had ultimate success. And we absolutely accept that and acknowledge that. But right now, it's just a basic construct. All cookies have flour in them, and we're just going to deal with the basic ingredients of how to construct a commercially accessible novel.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times, too, what you can find, the way that we like to talk about success, what makes a fun media narrative, is not necessarily accurate for what really goes on behind the scenes. Like, I have had authors who, I've been there with them while we didn't sell the first book and didn't sell the second book, and then we finally sold the third book, and then when it's reported on, their hometown newspaper does a feature, and it's overnight success, which is just hilarious to those of us who've been there. And they're like, no one passed on this novel. And you're like, well, no one passed on this novel. Plenty of people passed on the first two,
Right.
So there's always that veil that kind of needs to be lifted. So hopefully we can give you guys a little bit of insight that will help you feel prepared to get out there.
And the words craft, technique, and detail are something that I know we throw around a lot, but that pretty much encapsulates what this also will embody. Just the craft of writing, the technique of it, and the detail, explored and employed in getting a query out there, if you decide to pursue that avenue, getting an agent, and going through the motions of publishing. So we'll get more into each of those subtitles later. Okay, and then the marketing stuff, and okay, I feel pretty good about it.